Welcome to another lesson in Life in the UK, a long and illustrious history. Is the statement below true or false? The Restoration refers to the re-establishment of Catholicism as the official church in the 17th century. True, false. In May 1660, Parliament invited Charles II to come back from exile in the Netherlands. He was crowned King Charles II of England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland. This is referred to as the Restoration. False. Is the statement below true or false? British scientists were the first to clone a mammal successfully. True. The British team were the first to succeed in cloning a mammal, Dolly the sheep. True. Who was given the title of Lord Protector in the 17th century? King Charles II, Samuel Pepys, Oliver Cromwell, Isaac Newton. Oliver Cromwell was given the title of Lord Protector and ruled until his death in 1658. Oliver Cromwell. Why is 1918 an important date in the history of women's rights? The first divorce laws were introduced. Women over the age of 30 were given voting rights. Equal pay laws were passed. Women were made legally responsible for their children. In 1918, women over the age of 30 were given voting rights. In 1928, women were given the right to the vote at the age of 21, the same as men. Women over the age of 30 were given voting rights. Which of the following statements is correct? Winston Churchill was the British Prime Minister during the First World War. Winston Churchill was the British Prime Minister during the Second World War. Winston Churchill was the British Prime Minister from 1940 to 1945 during the Second World War. Winston Churchill was the British Prime Minister during the Second World War. Which of the following is a Stone Age monument in the UK? Globe Theatre, Nelson's Column, Stonehenge, Windsor Castle. Stonehenge is a Stone Age monument in the English county of Wiltshire. It was probably a special gathering place for seasonal ceremonies. Stonehenge. Which two fought in wars against Napoleon? Winston Churchill and the Duke of Wellington, Margaret Thatcher and the Duke of Wellington, Margaret Thatcher and Admiral Nelson, Admiral Nelson and the Duke of Wellington. Admiral Nelson commanded the British fleet at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. He died during the battle. The Duke of Wellington defeated Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Admiral Nelson and the Duke of Wellington. Which of the following statements is correct? In Elizabeth I's time, English settlers began to colonize Australia. In Elizabeth I's time, English settlers began to colonize the eastern coast of America. In Elizabeth I's time, English settlers first began to colonize the eastern coast of America. B. Is the statement below true or false? There is a dragon on the official flag of Wales. Wales has its own flag, which shows a dragon. The Welsh dragon does not appear on the Union flag because when the first Union flag was created in 1606 from the flags of Scotland and England, the Principality of Wales was already united with England. True. Which of the following statements is correct? The divine right of kings was the idea that the English king should rule France. The divine right of kings was the idea that the king was directly appointed by God to rule. The divine right of kings was the idea that the king was directly appointed by God to rule. B. After the Bill of Rights was passed in 1689, which two main political groups emerged? Labour and Tories, Whigs and Tories, Whigs and Nationalists, Nationalists and Tories. From 1689 onwards, there were two main groups in Parliament, known as the Whigs and the Tories. Whigs and Tories. Textile and engineering firms found workers from which two countries after the Second World War? Canada and India, India and Pakistan, South Africa and Pakistan, South Africa and India. Textile and engineering firms from the north of England and the Midlands sent agents to India and Pakistan to find workers. India and Pakistan. Which of the following statements is correct? Shakespeare wrote, "To be or not to be." Shakespeare wrote, "We will fight on the beaches." To be or not to be is a quotation from Hamlet written by William Shakespeare. Shakespeare wrote, "To be or not to be. I will see you again in the next lesson.